Hiya, I'm Riyadh, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video about something that I have had a lot of personal experience with, something that I am experiencing more of now, even though it went away for a while. It is anxiety, chronic anxiety and panic attacks that eventually come from that. The video is sponsored by NHS Go, an app for young people where they can get help for their mental health, their physical health. I guess in this video I want to give you my own personal experience of what constant anxiety is, what it feels like, and panic attacks. You may or may not have experienced it, but I think it's important that even if you haven't, that you watch this, because there is almost definitely going to be someone in your life that you can help by knowing the right things to say, how to act around them, and how to understand that they may be in the middle of a personal crisis that you may not even know exists. So before we get into the interesting science of what a panic attack is and why they happen, I'm gonna wait for this plane to piss off. For me, one of the most important things about getting over anxiety was, first of all, knowing what is going on, biologically, science-wise, what is happening in my body that's making me feel this way and making all of these physical things happen that I cannot control. And once I understood that, then I could I could get control. My first memory of having panic attacks, it goes way back to when I was about 13 or 14 years old, and I had this crazy strong separation anxiety from my mom. So much so that when she would leave the house to go and meet up with her girlfriends or even go to the shop to buy groceries, I would either demand that I could go with her, or she would have to have her phone on her and I would be texting her and calling her almost every 10 minutes to make sure she was okay. And it came from a fear that she would die. I thought that she would be abducted and raped. That was one thought that went through my head. I thought that she would be murdered. I thought that she would have a car crash and that I would all of a sudden have a motherless life and that I wouldn't be able to cope with that. I have no idea where it came from, and it got so bad that even my mother's friends were going, "Is your kid okay?" She'd be having a Chinese takeaway with her girls and her phone would be constantly ringing. So my mom almost became my counsellor, and she just got some common sense into my head and said, "Look, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. It's gonna happen. There's nothing that you can do through a phone call that's going to change this." And it was just oh, okay, we just have to live our life and get through this and understand that, there is an absolute minuscule, tiny possibility that something bad may happen to her on her journey to the supermarket. Then for years I didn't really feel anxiety at all until my grandmother died and I had a very, very sort of dramatic breakup with my ex almost at the same time. And all I can remember is having this sort of pre-panic attack sort of build up throughout the day where I would be tetchy, I'd be on edge, my thoughts would be here and then there. My hands would start to get sweaty and clammy. My breathing would be kind of shallow and very fast, and I'd have wide eyes and I couldn't even hold a conversation, and I tried to keep suppressing those feelings. I then had a full-blown panic attack, and if you've never had one, it probably sounds really, really stupid. Really, really ridiculous to you. But let me just say that in the middle of a full-blown panic attack, you honestly and truly believe that you are going to die. You cannot catch your breath. Things start to cave in on you, almost your sight goes darker, and some people even pass out from them. And for me, the trigger was this feeling of doom. It's I have lost this woman, my grandmother. I will never see her again. I've lost my lover. I've lost all of these things. How can I possibly go on? And aside from that, the most recent expression of a panic attack that I had was when some of you will have seen I had another dumping / breakup situation, and I was standing in my kitchen and I had been battling this oncoming panic attack all day. I knew it was coming. It was on its way, and I was nope, I'm taking control of this situation. It is not going to happen. I am going to be okay. And I was standing there at the counter, my hands were on it, and everything was numb. Head to toe, I had these tingles and goosebumps, and I just felt like I was out of control. It's an outer body experience. You literally feel like you are looking at yourself from over here. I started to like not be able to catch my breath, and this welling up of emotion, and then I just completely broke out into tears, and I couldn't figure out why this was happening. I was like, snap out of it, and I just couldn't. And the only thing that I knew what to do was to just drop to the floor, and I just sat there because I felt like this weak feeling over my whole body, and I just sort of had my moment. I let myself, have it, and then I gathered my thoughts and I gathered myself, and I just had a breather. And what will happen after you have a full-blown panic attack like that, it can last anywhere from 2 minutes to 2 hours, is that you are absolutely and completely drained. It is like you have run a marathon. Mentally, physically, you're useless. You can't do anything. Even if you're, feeling somewhat okay after it and you're meant to go out for a dinner with friends, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have to cancel, because you will need to just wrap yourself up in a blanket and maybe speak to someone you love, watch a movie, or just pass out and go to sleep. But what I've learned from this is that I know my triggers now. My triggers are this feeling of loss, or things in my immediate world that remind me of this person or this experience that I've lost. So it could be a song. How I learned to take control of these debilitating panic attacks is CBT. And CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. It's unlike other therapies that you go to, because it actually teaches you these tools that you can take and use day to day that allow you to control your feelings and to control the oncoming of a panic attack. So you go, and it's all about this thing called mindfulness and being in the moment. And that's one thing I really took from it, is that I have absolutely no control of tomorrow, the next day, the next week. I have no control of what just happened yesterday, the day before, or last year. The only thing I have 100% control of is right now. In this second, talking to you right now. That's all I have control over. So why let yourself get overly worried or overly upset about something that you don't have control of? And when you start to process that and realize that, you really do begin to feel calm. You are not out of control. You are here, you're present. And it sounds really hippie-ish, but in a moment of crisis, this mindfulness and this cognitive behavioral therapy, these things you learn, can honestly save you. Each week, I felt myself finding myself again, because when you're in the middle of this deep-rooted anxiety, you begin to lose who you are. Who's my character? Why can't I find happiness in even things like comedy anymore? The things that used to bring me so much joy, and the things that made me who I am, like food or laughter or friends or family, none of it bothered me anymore. I had no desire to do any of it. But I knew I wasn't suffering from depression, let's say. I just knew that something was off kilter. Before I went for therapy, I didn't realize that I was actually dealing with chronic anxiety that was kind of constantly there. I was dealing with it so well that I didn't even know I had it. This is what people with anxiety do. They master the art of disguise. I mean, right now talking to you, I'm feeling a degree of anxiety. Do I look like I'm anxious? Probably not, because through the years, you just learn to get on with it. And you yourself could be dealing with low-level, constant anxiety without even realizing. What I've learned from my research and my interest in human biology and why we have these panic attacks is that there is a true reason why they exist. They are there to protect you. They're not just these useless things that come up to make your day shit. Think of it this way: if you are in the Stone Age times and you are being chased by a lion, you're going to get the fight or flight hit of adrenaline, and you're going to get this rush to protect your life and save yourself. Now, it's a little bit different in modern society, where that fight or flight and that adrenaline can hit you from something that isn't going to take your life away. A feeling of loss, a feeling of a breakup. Like study after study after study has been done on the absolute disastrous effects on your body and your mind if you have anxiety for extended periods and you don't act on it and work on it and get rid of it. I'm talking about your digestive system, potential risk in heart attacks. Your immune system is absolutely sapped of everything it's worth because of the stress hormone cortisol, which is through the roof. Your reproductive system is even attacked by it. Your ability to be creative, absolutely gone. There was a study, one of them by the University of Wisconsin. They found that people who suffered from anxiety and stress and believed that it was bad for them had a 43% higher risk of an early death. But the people who realised that yes, they were going through stress and yes, they were having a panic attack, but it was okay and they were going to get a handle on it, they had absolutely no higher risk of death than someone that didn't have panic attacks or anxiety. So it is really all in your hands and all in your mind of taking control and making this anxiety and these panic attacks go away, and even when they happen, using them for good. Realising that it is a natural human response to a situation that is happening in your life, that it is okay, that it will come, it will go, and everything is going to be okay beyond that. So if any of this, what I've said, resonates with you in some way, or someone in your family or a friend, then know that you are absolutely not alone. It is a normal thing that happens to most of us in our life. We do all have triggers, and there are ways that we can battle through it and feel normal again. Remind ourselves of who we are. Enjoy life again. Stop surviving and start living. And if you do happen to be a young person in the UK, do check out that app that I mentioned at the start of the video, NHS Go. It is going to be a lifesaver for so many people, and I wish that I had the same resource when I was growing up in Ireland. If you're going through absolutely anything, be it a mental health issue, an STI, anything like that, then it is something that you need to download and you need to check out. It's all categorized into different sections. So there's young people health, there's LGBT issues, sex and relationships, eating healthily, exercise. So from the very, very serious down to just the everyday things that will make you a healthier young person. But at any point that you feel like, okay, I've got the information I need, now I need to reach out and get professional help, all of those resources are there. It will look at where your location is, and it will tell you where your nearest GP is or your nearest sexual health clinic. So it is just, it makes me smile, the idea of the app, because I know how many young people it's going to help, and that's why I decided that I would partner up with the guys at the NHS. Hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll have another one for you in a couple of days. Chat to you later. Bye. No, hang on. I'm back. Just for a minute. I'm just editing the video at the moment, and I just wanted to also say that I know a lot of you are going back to school at the moment. I see your tweets, and I know that it can be pretty damn overwhelming. I changed school like 3 times. And the anxiety I had because of that was pretty high. Maybe it's your subjects, maybe it's a teacher you don't get on well with, maybe there's bully, or just like the general idea of going back after a long, lovely summer of chilling out. Completely normal to feel a little bit weird and a little bit insecure. But that's what the app is there for. That's what your parents are there for. That's what your friends are there for. Talk to them, and yeah, use the app. It's there. It's for free, and that's its purpose. If you want to download it or check out the website, all those links are down below. This time it's a goodbye for real. Okay, chat to you later. Bye. And how does it make your teeth whiter, I hear you ask? Well, it's got a thing in it called lauric acid, or lauric, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it basically dissolves the compounds and the various different bacteria that cause your teeth to go yellow. Okay? A woman's looking at me. God only knows what she thinks I have in my mouth. Oh, hey.